Yeah. So welcome to the Play radio station. Thank you for joining We Don't Play. And I'm so excited today because we have amazing video content for you now. We've been doing a little bit of audio, but because of coronavirus, we had to stay behind the lens, So,
Right, yeah.
but you're looking great yourself. First of all,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I love your setup. This is beautiful. I want to
Thank you.
first of all, go by asking what inspired this art, and it looks beautiful.
I don't know. I was just kind of messing around, saw some different branding logos of other people, and I like some of the concepts in them, and so I just kind of threw it together, and I just rearranged kind of the area yesterday because I wanted to set up for videos for my programs I'm going to be creating in the future, and when I do podcasts, have some sort of branding material in the background rather than all my books how they were. And then this allows me to be on the side and write things on the whiteboard as needed for videos and things like that, or if I just want something up there, like if I wanted to have something written right here during a video, I could, and or over here wherever I want it. So
that's really nice. I like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a really, really cool setup. I love how everything is just coordinated. Even the colors of putting together the little brown, there's a little stroke of brown on your screen. It's really nice. I like it.
Yeah. It's like a rusty orange, but it's hard to see on video.
Oh, really? Oh, it's rusty orange.
Yeah, it looks. I can see why you think brown. Yeah, because on my video it looks a little brownish too. So
right, it does.
You might have to lighten it up so it looks more orange on video.
Okay, that's fair. So today is just an amazing day to start off with. We're getting to the end of the month. We're almost getting also to the end of this series, which has been a very, very eventful time, and we've been able to talk about a lot of stuff, and there's always new knowledge every day. So if you feel like you know everything today, tomorrow somebody will know probably 10 times more than you did yesterday.
Right.
So don't feel like you're the champion of the day,
Right.
Just keep going, keep learning, keep unlearning. All those things are very important. And today we're also going to go into a very, very interesting topic about the how. So I wanted to first ask you, what is your definition of how you portray your brand to your audience, to your niche market?
How do I do that? I think it's trying to stay consistent with the logo or the look. Since I started, it's changed a little bit, but trying to stay consistent. And then with a schedule of content, I've been trying to get a lot more consistent to do that throughout the day, especially putting out a little bit more and connecting more, some of it more real. So especially on my stories, trying to just invite people into my life and see what I do, see what I'm, where things I like. I've recently been posting a lot, like me walking through my pine trees, the little path I mowed. And so just real life stuff. So just connecting with people and just be able to connect on that level as well. And yeah, I just think just consistency and just always trying to increase the quality of whatever I'm putting out to add value to people.
Yeah, definitely. Adding value is one key thing that I've realized that is very, very important for us to, grasp, because when you add value to someone's life, you're adding inspiration, you're adding a piece of a puzzle. There's so much you can be able to get from that. So it gives you the amazing idea of, building that interest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. And also before we go, I was just thinking about it. I was like, we can go live, because I'm about to go live on Instagram.
Cool.
And so that people can also just tune in as well. So I was just letting you know. And also,
Awesome.
If you're listening in, you can also find us on Instagram at Flav Beats. That's FLAEV BEATZ, and you can also find Chris T. Anderson. And Chris, please let them know. And thank you for joining us. This is a Play radio station. Once again, we don't play radio. early in the morning. We have a special guest with us. Yes, and Chris is there. I can see you, Chris. I can see you. I'm
I
going.
requested. Let's see if this works.
It's gonna work because I think I just added you.
Yep,
in.
I see.
You in there?
It's going.
Good.
Oh, we're gonna have to.
This is gonna be a little bit. Yeah. We have to switch the angles for this, Chris. Hold on, because I'm recording it from here, and I'm also recording it from Instagram. So I need. Yeah, this is perfect. Hold on, I need to set this up properly.
Okay.
I can hear an echo on your side, though.
Is there echo?
There's an echo. I'm going to reduce the volume on mine. Hopefully, people can still hear. Can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool. This is going to be a lot of echoing. So let me.
You have it's coming through your computer and your phone.
Yeah, my phone. Where's my phone? Oh yeah, my phone. I reduced the volume, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out the audio here so that I can get a more cleaner sound.
Let's see if I can. Okay.
Here we go.
How's that sound better?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Is there an echo still?
Hold on. There's no echo, but I'm trying to just keep it within the. Oh, I see what I'm about to do.
Cool.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna switch it up to this. This is a little bit complicated this morning, but we're gonna get it working.
Yeah.
Because this is random, you know. Nobody planned this. I didn't even think about. I just said, why not?
Why not?
Why not? So I'm trying to change the audio so that it's the same as the system, and the microphone is the same as the system.
Yeah, I turned my phone down all the way, so hopefully it's not echoing on my part.
I can actually hear you from there, but I can't hear you from here. And this is where I need to get the audio out. So, say something.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you through here.
Which is through what?
Oh, I can hear you through there. Did you mute on your end or no?
On phone or computer?
Computer.
I don't think so. No, my microphone's still hooked up well, and only thing I changed was my volume coming out of the headphones and not the TV.
Okay.
Your computer muted now.
What about now? You can hear me, right?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So, yeah. As long as this is going in and they can hear me, we good.
Cool.
All right. So, can you see my screen?
I can. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So, right back to where we were. So we were talking about the how, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to say that 67% of brands that blog generate more leads. Do you know that?
That's a good number. No, I did not know that number.
Yeah, 67%. Because that 67% is literally higher than 50% to start with. And then secondly, there's a big connection, you know, on how you can be able to get this number to generate the number of people you need for your business. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I was trying to mute.
Good?
Yeah, I was trying to make sure there's no echo. I was trying to help out.
Oh, yeah?
Because I hear it coming through multiple things.
Oh, perfect. Can you hear me? Because I'm going to get the audio from right there, and I'm going to record right here. So it's going to be like a whole sync. And I can hear you through here, too.
Cool. Okay, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I hear myself, though, too.
Yes.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay. So, yeah, 67% of brands that blog generate more leads. That's crazy.
That is a big number.
You know, that's a big number. It's a big number because people know that every company website has a blog. It's pretty much normal to have that, because you think about it, you're like, oh, I have a website, I have this, I have that, but what are you doing with your website? Nothing. You just have pictures, videos, text. That's fine, but is it generating any more leads? Is it creating an SEO treatment? Is it gaining the attraction it needs? If it's not doing any of those things, then it's not serving the purpose.
Right.
It's not.
No,
so, yeah, I don't know how to explain this further, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, your brand, you have to be known to get out there. And so that's why that number is so big, I think.
Exactly. And also the quote of the day is, what makes you unique make you successful. So everybody's unique. So that means everybody can be successful. It's that simple, you know?
Right.
The only thing that makes a big difference or makes a big leap is when you decide not to do what you need to do for yourself. If you don't want to wake up in the morning, fine. If you don't want to brush your teeth, fine. If you don't want to do anything, it's fine, you know? But at the end of the day, you will ask yourself those questions, and those questions need to be answered, because one way or the other, you're going to get caught up.
Yep.
It's just normal. It's just English that just makes perfect sense, you know?
Yeah, and I love this quote because I've always heard from people, and my mentors say, if you want to be free, or if I want to be free, I have to be me. And that's, I think we have to be unique. We have to be ourselves, and there's things that we do better if we try to follow exactly like our mentors or people of that nature. Like, we're going to be off.
Exactly.
So, yeah, being unique is huge.
Exactly. You have to be unique. Yep. And as we're also going in, I see Rashida's in, Nati is in, I see Doubts, BOE. You guys, thank you for joining. It's very early in the morning. Yeah, we are having an amazing podcast session. And because Rashida is here, you know, she's an amazing person. You know, she boosts she tells me, favor, do this. Sometimes I'm like, awesome. But she pushes me to the limit, and I love it. So shout out to you, Rashida. And today, you know, we're talking about uniqueness, successful. How do you build your brand? How do you establish yourself? These are all the things that I put in my online course, and you can check the online course. If you click the link in my bio, you will click and you will see more, and you will be able to get access to it, because there's so many things that people learn every day. You know, I learn new skills. I just got my package in yesterday. So many things I'm excited about, you know, building, you know. Hey, what's up? Everybody's saying hello. That's great. It's a great energy this morning. What's up, Andrew? So how to brand yourself. This is the thing I want to show you on the next slide, right? It says, a brand needs time to marinate into a familiar niche market to stay relevant. It takes 5 to 7 impressions to make one impression. I don't know if you know that.
Huh. Interesting. I have not heard it that way.
If you go to Kroger today, if you go to Walmart, and if you see an ad on top of the building, if you see that 5 times, the 6th or 7th time, you probably know what you're looking at.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Repetition.
The 1st to the 5th, you can see it, but it's not talking to you, because it's new, because it's not familiar, it's not registered in your mind. So you can easily ignore it if you want to, because you can be colorblind. You can say, it doesn't concern me. But if you see that 5 to 7 times, I kid you not, you'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. You know, so you need to be a brand that can be seen at least 5 times to make one impression.
Yep. No, that makes sense. It's just like in sales or anything like that, it usually takes a lot of different touches, a lot of different connections with somebody to generate that sale, or if you're even like learning something, it takes a lot of different tries to be able to have that memory, that muscle memory we talked about in previous episodes. And so yeah, that makes complete sense that it would take that many notices or impressions to kind of leave that mark kind of in your mind.
Exactly. When you leave that in your mind, you create that impression, and if it's a good impression, it will last. If it's not good, you have to probably make 21 time impressions, to catch up, because you don't want to miss the first chance somebody's talking to you. You don't know what they have, you don't know what you have, so you don't even know what you could bring out. So those are things you need to pay attention to every day. And there's a fun fact, and it says when you consistently use one color palette on your logo, products, digital content, and promotional material, you drive brand recognition by 80%.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, because if you keep changing up colors and if you're all over the place, people aren't gonna really. It's not gonna click in their mind like, oh, that color. Oh, I remember that from, whatever, the light blue and the brownish orange. Like, oh, okay, I've seen that quite a bit with Pencil Leadership, and so that's what it reminds me of when I see that.
Right, exactly. You have to see something now that will stand out. Like for me, what stands out on your logo right now is that stroke.
Yep. I wanted that to pop too. Yeah.
It's popping because I can see what it's talking about. I can read it. It's known to me. I understand what you're talking about, but I'm not necessarily looking at the words. And besides, what's going to strike my attention is, okay, what is he trying to communicate through that? And when I see the stroke, I'm like, oh, this could mean a lot of things. This could mean writing, it could mean legal, it could mean printing, it could mean we sell pens, it could mean this is a leadership campaign, this means this is a brand, we build people, we can, create a model. Everything involves writing. So I believe that with that one color palette you have, you can change a lot of lives.
Yeah, I hope so. I went with the blue because, like we talked, blue kind of connects with trust and feeling of being able to open up, and that's what I want. I want to be able to open up with people and have them feel comfortable to grow and to go towards their dreams and success and build that life that they love. So
right, exactly. When you build the connection with people, when you have trust with people, they trust you even more. Because they know, okay, I can tell this person this and they won't have to judge me. Because everybody has their own entitlement to be who they want to be, But what stops me from talking to you is how you position yourself in a way that makes me feel either comfortable or uncomfortable. And if you decided to give me that wall structure, fine. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'll leave you alone. I'll be like, exactly. Doesn't want to talk to you. Cool. But if you open your arms and you want to understand more, then I'll be more attentive to detail and I'll help grow the connection by adding value to it while you add value. So if you have a brand and you keep telling people, we sell this, we do this, we do this, you say that all year, how many people are going to retain that information by looking at your brand without you being in their face, or in their ear? So you have to do more than talking. You have to search deeper and understand why you're doing this, who you're doing it for, when you're doing it, and most definitely why.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to have all that together.
Exactly. And how to do it is what we're talking about today, how to brand yourself digitally. We have a few ads that I would like to talk about. We have Facebook business ads. We have Instagram, Instagram and Facebook get together. So Instagram, Facebook are together as business ads. So there's business for Facebook and there's business for Instagram. So the first one is Facebook business ads. The second one is Instagram business ads. The third one is Twitter. People don't usually use Twitter for business ads. There's LinkedIn for business ads. There are Google ads. There are YouTube ads. There are email ads. There are TikTok ads. There are Snapchat ads. And the most popular one right now, I believe, is Spotify.
Okay.
Have you
a lot of ads, a lot of places to go. What'd you say?
Have you ever used Spotify for ads?
I've not yet. Have you?
Yes, I have. I've used it 3 times.
Big improvements or big metrics?
Improvement.
Really?
Literally, it's doing what you're doing on Facebook, but on Spotify to listeners who are active. It's not like scrolling and I tap on it. It's more like we're in the moment, we're listening, we're trying to get to the next song, but here's this ad so that you can do something in this next 30 seconds to check and then continue with your music. So
Nice.
you're catching them in the moment and not out of element. So if you're really targeting them and say, hey, we want to listen to you when you're doing this, doing that, that brand will keep evolving. And if you keep doing that over and over again, trust me, you'll have a new audience. You can build your podcast, you can build your website, you can build your appointments, you can build your playlist, you can build your own music. There's so much you can do now. So all this ads on how to get yourself discovered is so possible. All you need to do is just position yourself and say, what is my brand? What am I looking for? Who are my audiences? Are they kids? All right, TikTok, Snapchat.
Right.
You go straight to the key. If they're more mature, you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, you go to LinkedIn, you go to Google, because that's really where everybody is. But if you want to be more focused on your branding, understand why you're doing it, where they are, when they're there, which is important, when they're there. And you have to think about the time zone. Think about it. And usually ads are ran in Pacific time zone. So depending on where you are, it can change. But when you're looking at ads and you're saying, oh, I want to target New York, or I want to target Michigan, you got to look at what time they are. Like, what do they do at those times? Don't just think, oh, we're in the same space. Think about a whole country. So if you got to really do an ad there, do your research. Don't just click on Philippines and say, we have an ad. You need to know who you're talking to. Do they speak a language? Do they have a certain routine? All those things affect your brand, so that's what we go through every day. Whatever you're wearing right now is a brand. It could not be a brand. It could be a brand, but you bought it because you like the color.
Yeah. No, and I think it's huge. You have to play into people's emotions, but you also have to know when they're active. I think that's big, and sometimes people forget. And so, when are people active? When's the best time? There's information. I mean, there's information all over the place when people are on the best time. You need to look at what your network is. So who you're connected to on social media, see when they're active, and then put one out and see how it does, and then tweak it a little bit. It's going to take some time to get it down pat, and it's always going to be little changes over time. So Exactly.
That's the only way to grow. And that information, it just gives you a big insight on what we do, who we are, why we do what we do, when we do them, and then you can build that interest from there.
For sure.
It's something that makes a big difference. And I can see what you're doing with yours. I can see what's happening with me. So we have similarities that we are going with that people understand that could still relate to, because there is a mode of conduct that generates that appeal to the mental that says, hey, this is important. It's red because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, not because it's a good color.
I think there has to be a reason behind, and like I could have picked red. I could have picked if I wanted to. Blue sticks out to me, and for good reasons. And so you just got to be you and have a reason behind it and be able to explain that.
Right. Like, let me give you a good example. Like the Facebook blue color and the Walmart blue color are two different hex codes. Yours is blue too, and that's a different hex code. That's what makes you unique. The same way what makes us unique is our DNA. Those codes is a specific color type, shade, tone. Like there's a lot of money that goes into color, if you didn't know. So people really invest into that deep red Coca-Cola or that deep red CNN. There's a very big difference, and that's what makes them unique. So when you stand out like that, you stay consistent, you prove your point, you send your message, you get your feedback. Now you're in communication. Now you're in business. Now you're branding. That's the goal.
No, I think that's true. You got to think about that and what works for you and what you're looking to do for sure.
Exactly. So this is the little keynotes that I wanted to let you know about, and create that interest so that you are also aware of what is going on in our daily lives today.
For sure. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I guess I would be interested. I'm sure some people listening might be. What would you say is the best kind of information to put on an ad?
The best information to put on an ad is your message.
Yeah. I guess, is it better to have text, image?
Oh, you mean specifically? Okay, when I said your message, I mean like whatever you're trying to put out there has to be in a very concise, probably 2 sentences max. But in terms of content delivery and media type, the best way to start is video.
Yep. I figured this.
You can't tell me that if you listen to me, if you look at me, and you can hear what I'm saying, and you can probably see what I've typed on the screen or in the caption. There's no way you can, in those 30 seconds, 15 seconds, you make up your mind and be like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, or nah, I don't think this is for me. And you will make that decision right there. On text, it's more like, okay, it sounds nice, it feels nice, it looks nice, but I'll try it. But I'm not really sure who you are talking to. Yep. And then, you know, if it's audio, that's also perfect too, because it's radio. So that's as on Spotify. But if you're trying to get someone, please be on the audio visual side of things. Be on the audio completely, like podcasts, sponsorships, you know, throwing media content, bloopers and everything, or have video and then incorporate the audio and then do amazing stuff with the video that people can see, bright colors. Go on Amazon, type the best ring lights to get, type the best, you know, cameras to get. It's not expensive. It's just strategy.
Like, and it's an investment too. Don't think of it as you're spending money. Think of it, you're investing in you're growing your business. And that's what a lot of people, I think at first have trouble to see. Like, when you get that light, or when you get X, Y, and Z, when you get a coach or a mentor, you're investing in yourself and in your future. And so I think that's a huge part of it.
Exactly. Once you build that interest, once you build that desire, more people will want to know you more. Because let's say one of your favorite brands stops selling today, you'll be sad. It's not like you're attached to them. You know, you could live another day, but your deep emotion sensation is good to see how your mind works. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be very intentional about what you're doing, because right now we're doing this. I didn't plan on doing this, but I was like, hey, what the heck? It's Thursday. It's morning time. Why not? You know? So I'm doing this because I want to build that momentum. I want to build that growth. I want to build the audience, because people are like, oh, you're branding, or you're doing this, but we don't see you. And I'm like, I've been around for so long, but I think it's because I've been so much focused on helping other people that I completely forget about doing it myself, which is a thing. It happens to me. But that doesn't stop me from, you know, doing what I'm supposed to do in the first place. So I'm already doing it, but at the same time, I'm managing my time so that I'm able to be applicable and effective at the same time to the same audiences or more if I could reach them out. So doing this now, we're probably going to have the next live like this, because I barely come on lives because I'm like, what am I going to talk about?
Right, exactly.
But if you have something to talk about, if you're building that interest, people will be like, oh, wow, okay, what we heard on the audio is what we can see on screen and is what we can read on text. Then why would you think I'm lying? Because I'm literally giving information from me. You know, so that's how I feel. And I know the same thing applies to you and your business too.
Yeah, and I would just say to people listening, like Brenda there, I see listening.
Hey, Brenda!
Like, if you have a passion for something and you think it can impact people in a positive way, go for it. Like, don't be worried about what people might think, or that you might not have any listeners at first. Just put it out there for people, and give back and start building that brand. Figure out what you want it to look like, how you want it to sound, what you want the message to be, because eventually you keep doing that, people are going to see it, people are going to share it, people are going to start talking about it, and that's how it grows. So don't let that fear stop you from starting, because you got to start to get your journey going no matter what. And so just start figuring out what your brand wants to be. And I tell people, like right now, I'm trying to transition my website from pencilleadership.com to chrisanderson1.com, but still have Pencil Leadership as a page on that site, because I want the brand more to be me, in case something ever happened to Pencil Leadership or it changed to something else, people will see and know me because of what my mission is, because I want to be a speaker and I want to be a coach. And I want people to know Chris more than Pencil Leadership, and because that gives me a little bit more freedom to branch out into things as well.
Right.
And you got to think about things like that. Like, is this like my wife? She started a business is pens and paintbrushes right now, a sticker design, canvas painting business. And so I'm trying to talk with, like, do you want pens and paintbrushes? You're just now kind of about to launch. Is that what you want it to be in the long run, or do you want it to be something with your name so you can branch into other things? And so we're talking about that to see what she wants to do going forward, what she thinks is best for her and that business. And so you got to think about things like that.
Yeah. I feel like the best way with the business is like you said, you got to find who they are. And the best way to find out who your audience is by asking a question.
Yeah.
If you have a survey of 10 questions, I remember I used to do this back in school, and it used to be like a joke, like everybody go carry a paper, go around and ask people all these questions, let them fill it out, and then come and do a qualitative analysis. Those things is still today applicable.com. You know, like it's still important, because you know that if you don't get this information today, if they don't tell you, you didn't ask the question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to just say, hey, I'm 55 years old. You didn't ask me. I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be very intentional with how you put out information, so that when you throw out something and say, hey, this is what we do, when they ask you a question, you should be ready to answer, because you built that brand. You built that face. You know, nobody made it for you. You did it yourself. You said, I want my logo to look like this. I want this to look like that. All those things you want to look like, you got to explain that to somebody in the Far East that has no idea of your first name, but sees your brand and be like, oh, I need that.
Yeah. And I think Tier, my boy Tier is on. What's up, Tier? He put questions lead to creativity. And I think that's so true. Like when you're asking about mine, like it gave me like, oh, maybe I need to brighten that orange so it looks better on video. Things like that. Like it starts sparking ideas when you ask things. Well, you want to do this? Okay, so what if you did that? Or what, you know? And so, yeah, I love that, Tier. Thank you.
Yeah. Even Brenda said you're the face of the brand. You are the face, because if you look at the face, if you don't like the face, you're not going to be the face. You're not going to want to stand next to the face. But if you feel like, hey, this is an attractive face, I want to be like this, it smells like this, it feels like this is what it looks like, this is what I'm used to, and this is what I could get used to, because everything that started somewhere started from something. And everybody you know today that's your best friend, even your mom, was once a stranger. So you need to know that there is time, there is patience, there is development, there's communication, there's service. There's so many things that you can't ignore because, oh, I'm familiar. If you get too familiar, they get too familiar with you, and who loses? You, because they leave, and then they go to the next person who has the best brand, and then you're looking like, oh, I wish I did this better 6 months ago. I wish I knew better. You can't be wishing when you know. So the best way to start is by building yourself. What do I do when I wake up in the morning? Like right now, this is what we're doing this morning. What are you doing that is impacting your day-to-day life, that is helping you tomorrow, so that you can be able to be better for today? And if you're not better for today, then tomorrow you'll be waiting for an opportunity that you've been waiting your whole life, but you're not ready for it because you didn't position yourself. And that's where most people get out of the way. And even Brenda says sometimes we have to go through a fallout, because marketing is all about going out. You need to be going fully in. You need to build that audience. You need to, build that and create that zone for yourself, because if nobody does it, you can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you got to think about what you're doing. Like we mentioned earlier, like you think of Tony Robbins, his brand is him, really. Like I don't necessarily know all of his program names and what he has to offer, but you know Tony Robbins, you know what he's about, what his mission is. But then you think Elon Musk, he's still a huge brand himself, but that's not what he's selling. He's selling Tesla and SpaceX and all of those features in his businesses. And so it just depends what you're doing. So if you have a product, maybe that is what you want to be branded more. But as that grows, you are still in the limelight, like kind of like the Musk. or the Jeff Bezos kind of thing with Amazon.
Right. And they even said that just recently they said that Tesla is like Apple 20 years ago. And I'm totally in agreement with that, because we were dealing with iPods and little nanos and stuff like that. We're dealing with cars like this. In 2040, who knows what we're going to be driving?
Oh,
like,
that's crazy.
We're going to be like, oh, the new 2030.
Or what we're not going to be driving, what we're going to be sitting in.
Right. So you got to think about all those things right now, so that when you create that intention and say, where do I want to be next year? Where do I want to be tomorrow? You know that this is something that came from within. You didn't just come up with that idea because it didn't come from space. It came from a passion. It came from a willingness. It came from a source. It came from, the mind. If God gave you that idea, intention, write it down.
It came from a question that sparked creativity, like Tierra mentioned earlier. It just, what if? Why can't we do? A question sparks something, I'm sure.
Right. You got to be very, very intentional about it. And also, before we even go too further, guys, check out my link in the bio and also type in Business and Branding Pro Tips online course. I have so much information. You can DM me and I can give you the link to the Access course, because what we're talking about today is all in that course. There are downloads, there are links, there's support systems that you can be able to work with. And it's just right to give me that opportunity to tell you something about what we do. And when we do it, we have to support it, because I can't just say, oh, I have a course and then I'm going to sit down and wait for everything to happen magically. No, you have to put in the effort. It's an ever learning process, because every day you learn something new. So when you put out your brand, when you put out a video ad, when you put out a logo, make sure that Facebook status is reaching the right person, because you can easily miss it because you probably missed one word. I'm serious.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great point. Yeah, take your time and double check things. I know I'm guilty of that. I'll be wanting to put content out and I don't check it enough or slow enough, and I miss something. I have to go back and edit it real quick, but someone probably already saw it, so it probably
Exactly. Right. Imagine if you're like celebrity status and then they capture that within the first second you put it out. You can't take it back. So you are a brand. Like, people can do stuff now because nobody's watching. But imagine yourself for 24 hours in that position, that limelight, and you still do what you've been doing in the closet, and then you get exposed. Would you like what you see on the blog?
Right.
Because it's going to be a blog. Or would you be like, ooh, now everybody knows what I be doing, so let me do more? You have to be that person, and you cannot do that. Somebody said a question. I recently started my YouTube channel about what I love, food, and people ask me how to start and how I can share it. Okay, Brenda, how you can share your content on YouTube? This is good. Ask questions, guys. And this leads to a fallout if your own people cannot support you. Yes, the best thing I can tell you is the people that are going to support you are not your friends. It sounds savage, but it's the truth. They're not your friends. Your friends are always going to support you because they're always going to be there. But people that support your business, your friends are always going to be there for you. Family is always going to be there for you. That's period. I have friends, I have family. But if you want to make the next big step, you got to get uncomfortable in that space, because they know you, and familiarity, like I said in the beginning, is a big thing. If they familiarize with you and say, oh yeah, you got this, you got that, who cares? But somebody in Indonesia has no clue about you, but loves everything you do. Even the stuff that you think you don't know, or you probably know and it's not enough, they probably have no idea how you got that. So that little information is important to them. So the best thing is, go on YouTube, go on Google, follow people and find out what's the best time to post. I'll just give you a free tip right now. The best time to post during the weekdays is between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Central Time. Not Eastern Central Time, sorry. Eastern Time. Sorry. So Eastern Time, ET, is between 2 and 4 p.m. On the weekends, it's between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So you got to think about those things and put your content out at specific times. Even on Instagram, check the best time to post. If you post at 3 a.m. and nobody's watching you, you've literally killed your own post. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. You don't want to do that. you have to be very intentional and say, okay, everybody's awake at 7 a.m. till 12 p.m. Everybody's using their phones. So put it out at that time so that you can reach the maximum potential possible. Every day is a given day for you, but not every hour is the same. It happens
And
to stores, it happens to businesses. And please tell me what you think.
Yeah, Brenda, I would say also don't base your success right now, especially starting out, on how many followers or subscribers that you have, because there could be people seeing it that don't like it and don't share it. So you're still making an impact. And so remember that, and keep the why you started, because that's the most important thing. If you have that reason, you started like Pencil Leadership. I want to impact 1 million lives through coaching, motivational speaking, things of that nature. But if I'm not getting 1 million likes, I'm not going to stop continuing to try to reach people. And so just continue to put out that information. And a big one is connect with people. Connect with people in your same market. So if there's other people talking about food, maybe a different type, comment on their stuff. Say, hey, that's a great looking recipe. Man, that's making me hungry. How are you doing? And just connect with people. Connect with other people on those posts. Say, oh, hey, that's a great point you made about that recipe. I did something a little bit different on this recipe on my page. And just connect and interact and be real with people. And that's going to open up more doors. People are going to then check out what you're doing. And you're going to be able to increase how you help people. But don't forget why you started. And don't let the numbers of followers or subscribers start to kind of pull you away. See the bigger picture of it and keep going forward.
Exactly. Yeah, keep going forward. Those numbers are always going to change. Stock numbers also change. So don't look at the numbers. Look at the vision. Look at the passion behind it. Look at the reason why you're doing it. Then connect with the right people. Then build a survey. Go on your Google, on your Gmail, and create a form. And just say, hey, what do you think of A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Put it in a Google form, send out that link to people, let them know what they think, or go to surveymonkey.com and you can get that information back. And then you'd be like, oh, they don't like this. I don't like that, But if you now know what they like, and then you give 10 more people what they like, they're going to tell 10 more people. And guess what? 10 more people will know. And the best form of marketing is word of mouth.
Yep.
Period. If you do your hair today and someone loves your hair and say, yo, I love your hair, where did you do it? And you give me that contact, I'm going to go to that person. Somebody else is going to ask me the question. Then the word will keep going around. I didn't spend any money. I didn't spend any gas. I didn't spend any resource material, anything. Those things are so important that you can be able to communicate and tell people what you think without having to feel, backtracked or in the back burner. So you build that interest. You let them know, hey, this is what I think. What do you think? Would you buy this? What do you feel? What's your texture? Then you build that set, grow. Before you know it, get influencers. Get people on Instagram or TikTok, or go to YouTube and just search for influencers. Email them. They give out their email addresses for a reason. You can reach out to them for free promos. Say, hey, I'm sending you this, and you can promote it and then see what happens. Do that consistently. At least try get 100 people, if not in a day, in a week, and reach out to them and tell me if you don't get 10% of that back.
Yeah, no, I think, connecting. Meeting people where they are. And I think, that's all we can do, and not worry about the results so much. I've been there. I mean, thinking about, I need to get followers, or I need to get more people in the programs. And no, it hinders us. It slows us down. And just remember, it's about the people. Just remember, it's about those people we're trying to reach. And so just connecting with them, just doing stuff like this, adding value, having a service of some sort that they can have, and just giving back. And things will come to you. And you remember, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Exactly. Those overnight success stories, the lucky people that we talk about, they had 5 to 10 years of success before they blew up.
Bro, you gave them 5 years, a summer. Like one summer is literally enough for you to just hit your peak and drop. Like if you become an overnight success, because that's what happens. Artists, people. And if you see the people that last the test of time, those people came in with a strategy. They didn't come in with like, oh, I want to be famous. I want to be TikTok famous. They came with an intention. So whenever you build your brand,
but the work that I put in for years, you know, you got to think people. I mean, people who are. I think we talked about it. The girl who was singing in the subway over and over, and then she found out American Idol. Like, yeah, that short period on American Idol. But the amount of time before that, tweaking your voice, tweaking your videos, tweaking your recipes, Brenda. That little time adds up, and before you know it, then you've blown up like Flavor says, and
like
so
Flavor.
Did I say it wrong? Sorry.
No, everybody calls me Flavor now, so I'm like, oh, I bet Flavor, tomato.
Flavor. My bad. It's early still here, though.
I know. I'm just playing with you.
No, yeah. So yeah, just you put in the small steps, the time that it takes to build that. And then eventually it looks like it is an overnight success because no one sees the work you're putting in behind the scenes.
Exactly. That's just the goal. And with that being said, you just got to know what you want, how you want it, and then put it out the best way. And then people will receive it, how you give it to them. And then, Leon has a question. We were just about to wrap up, but he has a question. So we'll take that. That will be the last question. And we can be able to, you can check out the podcast, check out the link in my bio, DM me for the link if you don't find it. I can give you the access or, give your email address so we can be able to keep in touch. So Chris, you have a question. How do you run a successful giveaway to drive engagement? That's questions for you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is you have to know what your market wants. Because if I'm giving away lollipops, I don't think my market's necessarily going to jump on that. And so having something of value, so whether that be an ebook, because I'm in the personal development, self-help area, or maybe a free mindset conference call with me or something of that nature, just to get them involved. And then get it out there so people see it. So market it well. So it drives the traffic and engagement to that, but it's got to be something of value. You got to judge what your market wants. Like I said, that's a big thing, because if you're putting something out there no one really cares about, then they're not going to want that engagement. It's not going to be tug at their heartstrings or tug at their wallets enough to get them to do that. And so, make it relevant, make it true to your brand. So how can it be connected to your brand somehow? Again, if I'm saying, like this or share this and you could get a lollipop, that doesn't have anything to do with pencil leadership. Maybe Brenda, if she's making candy, that could be something that connects with her market. I don't know. But yeah, so it's got to be relevant and it's got to be something of value. Or maybe it is something technology wise. Maybe it's because I'm in the podcast field as well. Maybe it's a pair of AirPods or something. It just has to be relevant and close enough connected with your brand and with your market.
Yeah. You gotta connect with it. And one thing I'll also leave with you is that when you are doing a giveaway, and I've done it before, when you do a giveaway, please make sure that giveaway or that product has a color people like. Because
that's a good point.
Branding is the number one key to your success. People have wallets. People have things. The only way you can bring that wallet out or bring that thought or that transaction or that conversion is by invoking an emotion. And that's done psychologically. So you need to be psychological about how you bring the color out. What is the presentation? When you go to a restaurant and they serve you and they give you amazing food and you can see they're all dressed up, even the table looks dressed. So everything is looking great because they know they're about to serve you. That presentation is what's going to say, oh, I want one. But if you're just throwing away anything, they're not going to catch it because they don't know what value it carries. And it carries value. So you need to treat it like it carries value so that you can carry that value across to the next person. That's how
that's a great point. Like if you are having an item, You got to make sure the quality of the picture is good. I mean, make a photo box. You could do it super cheap to make a photo box that really gets that object to stick out. Basically white background around it, and or it's displayed well. You just make sure it's quality. You can't just throw something on a pile on the table and take a snap with your photo. Like you need to think about the position, the background, the different settings on the photo, the lighting to make it look good. It's got to be attractive, like Favor said.
Exactly. So you got to keep that in mind, and the more you do that, the more successful you become in your business. And Brenda asked when this is happening next. We're gonna probably have our last one on Monday because we missed this week Monday. So we'll probably have the next podcast on Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. Same time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. And before we go, please check out the link in my bio and click on see more to get the online course, because all that we're talking about today is all in there. Like this is just little pieces of the puzzle. So I have a whole course for you. You can be able to go there and check it out. DM me. Feel free. DM Chris. DM me. Ask about it. We will give it right back to you. Send us your email addresses. If you want an official, we can do that for you. So we're here to help. We're here to answer your questions. And definitely tune into the Play radio station on We Don't Play, and also listen to the Pencil Leadership podcast. So that's it for me.
Awesome. Hey, it was good. I enjoyed this live thing. I like taking the questions too. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know what made me think, let us do a live session today, because I'm always recording this, but I was like, I didn't get a chance to use my phone about it. So I was like, since we're getting closer to the end of the series, I was like, let's just do a little bit different stuff to just,
cool.
Climax running and booming. So yeah, it worked.
It was good. I liked it.
It worked. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Take care.